and welcome to another exciting episode of Can It Take a K26, the show where we take a variety of blasters and see if they can be upgraded using a K26 spring. I am your host, Captain Xavier, and today we're going to be looking at some of the newer rival blasters that have come out, starting with the roundhouse. XX1500. I found it. It's right there. The roundhouse obviously came out in 2020, thus the XX, and holds 15 rounds, thus the 1500. It is top prime. It has an internal magazine, 5 chambers, each holding 3 rounds. And that's just really a neat concept. It's a pistoled version of the Artemis or the Hades. And they managed to make it relatively small, getting 15 rounds into an internal magazine and a blaster that's relatively small. It's beefy, and I like that because I like a beefy blaster. But that's pretty neat. So let's get them stack numbers, the chrono numbers, as well as the range numbers, and we'll see how this thing performs, and then we'll see if we can upgrade it. Alright, I have 5 rounds loaded into the roundhouse. Let's see what kind of stock numbers we're getting. See if we can get it to not jam on the first round. It appears to have behaved itself. Here we go. 102. 101. 102. 102. 101. That is incredibly consistent. And very nice. I'm not sure I want to upgrade it, but the show must go on. To the range. Now, the last time I did Rival on Can It Take a K26, I had Judd to shoot at. Unfortunately, Judd cannot be with us today because he's in Australia. However, thanks to the McPhersons, I have Mini Judd. I'm going to shoot at him. Now, here we are. Mini Judd is suspended between the 2 targets at 25, but he's really small. I'm going to zoom in, see if you can see him any better. Perfect. All right. Let's see. I got 15 shots. Can I hit Mini Judd? That's pretty close. Direct hit. Another hit. Oh. Round complete. Right. First of all, I apologize for the noise in the background. My neighbor is weed eating or chainsawing or something. I'm not sure which. Anyway, this is a fabulous blaster stock. It's getting consistently right over 100, which is very impressive. I like the size, I like the form factor, I really like just about everything about this blaster. In fact, I didn't really want to put K26 in it. I think it's good the way it is. However, this show is not called Should It Take a K26? This show is Can It Take a K26? So, let's find out. This thing is going to be complicated. Yeah, right. Well, the good news is you can take the back head off and the entire front assembly, which was I feared was going to be the unpleasant and complicated part to deal with, doesn't have to come off. So, what do we have in here? Well, that is a different design than I think I've seen before. I was expecting it to just basically be a Chronos clone, but it is a little bit different. Well, K26 will quite easily fit. And, well, that one's actually a little bit short, but we'll see if it's enough to... Yeah, my neighbor's singing. Ain't nothing in the world wrong with that. Let's get a coil count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 coils, which is longer than necessary to avoid spring rattle. So if it won't catch, we will be able to reduce it a little if we needed to. Question is going to be getting the shell to close because it's warping some of the internals a little bit, but we'll find out. Alright, see if it'll catch. It will not. Nope, not getting enough compression. And now it's ratcheted open. So it's gonna sproing on me, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. It was very unhappy about that. And I don't blame it. For sure, we're going to take the flattened coil off because that's just dead space. And then I think I will take one more full coil off. Which gets us down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 coils. Do we still have enough to avoid spring rattle? Alright, I managed to get the shell back together, so let's finish buttoning it up and see what happens. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Pottery.
Alright, see if it'll catch. Oh, that did not sound good at all. Oh. But it did catch. Okay. It's catching. It sounds angry about it. I don't blame it. Alright. Well, it'll take a K26. It doesn't like it. And it's mean and angry sounding and it's harder to prime. But let's see what kind of a performance increase that gave it. To the chronograph. Right. Now, the roundhouse with K26. 131. 133. 130. 135. 131. So we're looking at least a 30 FPS improvement. That's not nothing. That is impressive. Let's see what that has done to the accuracy, though. To the range. We're back on the range. Mini Judd is still out there. We're going to try to hit him with the K26 roundhouse. Let's zoom in and see if we can do this. Oh, a lot more curve. No surprise there. Ha ha ha! Direct hit. Go for a long range shot. Oh, I'm hitting the trees. I got the 50 on a bounce. Oh, round complete. So, I'm gonna go take a look at how far some of those went because it looks like I was hitting 75 feet flat. I'm gonna go take a peek. 96 feet flat. Let's go talk about it. Aha! Well, definite improvement in FPS, a 30 FPS improvement, which is nothing to sneeze at. Obviously, it had the well-known effect on the accuracy. After about 20, 30 feet, the accuracy just goes out the window because the hop-up starts kicking in, and so Any slight tilt in the blaster is going to cause it to veer off to one way or the other. Obviously, you can tweak the hop up or remove it entirely. That will have a negative impact on your range because the hop up is what keeps the rival balls going so far. So taking out the hop up will potentially improve the accuracy, but is going to reduce your range. The fact that I was able to hit this target at 25 feet is impressive. So at 25 feet, this thing is still very accurate, and at the speed that it's traveling is very difficult to dodge. So there's upsides and downsides to increasing the FPS on your rival blaster. But I am going to probably put the old spring back in just because I don't like the prime on this with K26, and I don't need that improvement. I have other plans for this thing that don't require it to be that powerful. So I am going to downgrade it. All right, let's move on to our next contestant after these messages. All of the K26 used on this series was donated by Out of Darts. Check out his new website at outofdarts.com for all your Nerf modding needs. Our next contestant, unsurprisingly, is the Finisher XX700. The Finisher was also released in 2020, thus the XX, and comes with a 7-round magazine, thus the 700, though as far as I know, it will take any of the magazines. I actually don't know that for sure. As you can see, this one is brand new, still in box, ain't never been sniffed. Until now. Let's get this thing out and take a look at it, because I'm curious. Well, ooh, I actually really like that handle. It's simple and smooth. It doesn't have the ridges that you see in some of the other ones. It's svelte, too. I like that. All right, let's take a look at this magazine. Give me the thing. Oh, interesting. You can... How does that... Well, it doesn't work when it's in there. So it takes a magazine, takes it at an angle. Mag release is forward, which is... That's actually... You can get used to that. It's a little... It'll be a little easier if the magazine releases a bit back here, but it's still easy to release. Now, my question is, can it take any magazine? Which means I need... Ah, there's one. There, no, come in. I got one. It can. At least it'll fit. I assume it will feed. So, I mean, that looks silly, but, I mean, high capacity is high capacity. That is interesting. What? Oh. So, yeah, that allows you to feed from the side, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. But it's a thing. All right. Stock numbers. Stock numbers. Let's get stock numbers. Come with me. And now for the Finisher. Also 5 rounds. I like the handle. I don't like the trigger. It's curved forward instead of curved in. That's weird. 87. 92. 91. 87. 86. So not as high and not as consistent. Let's see if it's any more accurate. To the range! Same thing, but with the Finisher. I don't have as many shots now. Hopefully I can hit him. I hit him with the last shot, I think. Yep, round's complete. Ha! Victory is mine. All right, let's go improve them. All right, well, I've changed my mind on a few things. My original thought on the grip was that I liked it. I've kind of changed that. I think it's really the trigger that I don't like. That flat, almost rounded out. It's not comfortable. But other than that, it's not bad. It's underpowered compared to the move along. It's underpowered compared to the roundhouse, but is still up there in close to 90, which is fairly standard. There is something, however, that just feels kind of, I almost want to say cheap about it. And it may just be because the roundhouse is so big and beefy and this thing is so svelte that it's just feeling not as high quality for some reason. But this one could probably actually do with some K26. So let's give it a try. Well, we're in. And again, I was expecting this to just be a Kronos clone, and it's not. Not exactly. Obviously, the front end has to be a little bit more like an Apollo since it's magazine fed. The back end is... Oh, that is... Oh, what? It doesn't even have... Like the roundhouse, it doesn't actually have a proper catch spring. It's just plastic, which does not speak well of its longevity, but nobody asked me. Alright, let's get this spring out of here. Not sure what this is, but it appears to... Oh, there, okay. Alright, some kind of a trigger lock. Alright, so here is our main spring. How does it compare to that other one? It is shorter, oh, and definitely weaker. Yeah. Alright, well, let's see if K26 will fit on that priming rod. That is really my concern. And it will, but we are going to have to spiral it on. So first thing, I'm going to cut off the flattened end so that we can spiral it on. Okay, yep, no problem there. I'm going to trim down the spring tabs a little bit so it'll actually seat properly. I'm going to go a little over minimum. Not too much. As with the roundhouse, I'm slightly worried about compression, so because that's a much looser spring. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna take another one off. Well, maybe not. Well, yeah. I'm actually going to take that ratchet bit out because that way if it won't catch, it won't get caught up and I won't have to deal with it springing. Okay, I think I got everything back in. Let's see if I can get it to close. I got the shell on, button it up, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Lawnmower.
You tell them, Luke. All right, here we go. Well, it catches. Ah! Which one did I miss? Where'd you come from? How dare you? How very dare you? It's not bad. It doesn't seem as unpleasant as the other one. Doesn't sound as angry. Let's get some new numbers. Ammo. Right. Now, the finisher with K26. 136. 128. 132. 123. 127. Oh yeah, that's it's getting in that. Yeah, that's like 40 FPS higher. So it's getting the same numbers as the roundhouse was now. See what it does to the accuracy on this one. Alright, we got 7 rounds in the K26 finisher. Let's zoom in and see if we can pop Mini Judd. Ha ha ha! I flipped him! Round complete! Alright, go talk about it. Okay, so definitely an improvement in FPS, more so than the roundhouse actually, because this was hitting at least 10 FPS lower than the roundhouse was stock, but with the K26 they were hitting at pretty much the exact same thing. And that's interesting. I wonder if I just got a lemon of a stock spring in this. Who knows? But same thing that I had to say about the roundhouse. Accuracy, still able to hit this target even at 25 feet, which is impressive, but accuracy, you know, after that goes just completely out the window. But for close range, that's a neat little blaster. The fact that it takes a magazine is something, you know, a lot of people wanted to make the Chronos do, and well, they did it. Every once in a while, Hasbro listens to us. There are already stock and pump grip kits for this, which is really cool because there wasn't really anything quite in that form factor. Rival magazine, pump action, and now we have it, so that's pretty cool. I would love to get my hands on that pump kit. This one I will probably take out at least another coil of FPS, try to get it down to HVZ numbers, that 120, which a longer barrel might help with that as well. And I might tinker with the hop-up. I don't know that I'd want to take it out entirely, but maybe sand it down just a little bit and see if how that improves. I'll probably take it out, test it, put it back in, file it down, test it, see what works. I need to do a Nerf science video on hop-up tabs in rival blasters. So, yeah. Alright, that's a yes. Let's recap. Alright, for those of you just tuning in or who just skipped to the end to see the results, you know who you are. There's no shame. That was a yes for the roundhouse and a yes for the finisher. No surprise, they're both rival blasters. I was surprised that they didn't turn out to just be Chronos clones internally. They have different catch mechanisms and all that from the Chronos, and then they're even different from each other. They don't have any trouble taking K26. The primes are a little beefy given the design of the priming handles. There isn't really much to get a good grip on. This one's a little better than this one. This one you can hook your finger over. So I wasn't having too much trouble priming it. This one I am going to downgrade. This one I might take a coil out. Its stock performance was pretty piddly, so I like the improved performance. I'd love to get the pump kit that's out there for it already. This one I'll probably downgrade all the way, and I'm really tempted to put my Lotus system on this because it would take such a huge holster to holster it, but the Lotus system would alleviate that. So they're both really cool. I like the capacity of this one. I like the magazine option on this one. These are really nice blasters. I really enjoyed these ones, and I enjoyed doing this video on it. So that was a lot of fun. Stay tuned next time. I have like the next 3 or 4 episodes already lined up. I already have all the blasters for them. But once I run out, I'm going to need suggestions. Feel free to give suggestions. The nice thing is that I do them less often now, and so there's time for new blasters to come out, and so I'm not scrounging for blasters as much. But I will need suggestions eventually, especially if there's ones that I've missed. If there's blasters from previous eras that I passed over for some reason, let me know, and I will try to get my hands on them. There are a couple that I've tried. I tried ordering one on eBay, and I don't know if it ever arrived. It may have, and I just, oh, there it is, and tossed it in a bin. I'll have to look. But, yeah. Anyway, there you have it. Thank you for watching.